everybody? It is Thursday night. Time for another episode of Thrifty Business. Hi, I'm your one host, Jay. And with me is my producer, my normal-ish co-host, Debbie.
Hi, Jason. Hi, everybody. Hi, Mark.
What's happening, Debbie?
Not much. Just watching to see if the St. Louis Blues are going to win tonight.
For those of you who haven't been watching a couple weeks, we have new theme music from our friends, Franks and Deans. They've done a surf record, so that's pretty cool. So we've been using them for the theme music.
I got to get one of those.
Yeah, it'll be out next month. And before we get to anything else, let's get to time for Jay's Tiki Talk. Each week, I drink a different rum out of a different mug, and I try and match it up to our guest. And our guest tonight is the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Levine from Bubblefast. Hello, Mark.
Hey, everybody. Happy summer. Happy thrifting.
Woo!
Hey, Mark.
All right. So last time you were on, I think I used like an old rum to kind of, play on the fact you're old. And Stacy's like, you can't do that again. So our good friends, the Ings, sent me a bottle of rum that's being made in Pennsylvania where they live. So it's twofold because it's called Triple Sun. And as Mark said, summer hasn't shown up in Chicago just yet. So here's sending you some sun, but it is.
I'll take it in.
It's Navy strength for the Navy Pier. See what I did there?
Well, I'm assuming you also received it bubble wrapped.
I did. See, I didn't think
there you go.
Damn. All right. So before I show you the mug, because it's pretty epic, Debbie, what you drinking out of tonight?
Okay, well, hold on. I have to pick this big thing up. Have you seen this yet?
It looks like a vase. Holy crap, that is awesome.
Have you seen it? It's from the Kon-Tiki in Oakland. And Bubblefast ships all over the U.S., so I know they ship to Oakland, too.
Absolutely.
And I have plantation rum in it.
Nice. All right, so Mark's here to talk about dimensional weight. So I thought, okay, can't drink out of a normal mug. Let's drink out of a mug with some serious depth and width and height.
Oh
my gosh, yours is bigger than mine.
Yeah. So this is a bowl, technically.
Yeah. 4 straws or a 4-holer.
Yeah. So of course I didn't fill it, or I'd be just dead on the floor by the end of the show. But I figured we'd have to, have a drink with something that was dimensional, more so than a round mug.
That's awesome. How come I haven't seen that in your house?
Well, it's at your eye level, and it's been on the same shelf in the living room for the past 8 years.
And like I told you, I'm very careful around your tiki mug, so I probably walked right past it.
The mug manufacturer out of England called Cheeky Tiki that makes, as you can see, amazing stuff. Awesome. Stephen Uyghur says that would ship in a 12 by 10 by 10. See, I knew. I think Stacy told me go pick one of the big ones. All right, we're going to talk to Mark all about dimensional weight, FedEx Home, USPS, all that good stuff in a little bit. We'll get to our segments right now. So, Mark, if you could do me a favor, since YouTube took away my tools for some odd reason, and we'll see you in a little bit. All right, now it is time for... Why did that turn off? That shouldn't turn off. Come on. Hey, there we go. It's our scores of the week. These are BOLOs, things that you should be on the lookout for when you're out sourcing.
Yes. Let's see. First up. Whoops. Hold on. Just a second. Hold on. Something's not working. Oh, here we go. Okay. International Air Power. These were listed like 2 years. These airtime books. I bought them in a bag at a book sale, a bag of book sales. And I did a 10% off sale, so they sold for $44.99. So it doesn't matter. Sometimes things take a while to sell, but I'm really happy to get $45 for those books.
Very nice.
And this is a consignment for one of my clients. It's homeschool season for shopping time. So anything you have that's for homeschoolers, any kind of kids classic books or whatever, it's time to get them up. We accepted a best offer of $140 on this. And then we have another one, a different grade that we're waiting to sell too. So that was a nice consignment score.
Whoa, that's a lot of books.
It is. You know how when you don't need to be thrifty, you find the best stuff. We go to the post office and there's a thrift store in the parking lot. So I call up my therapist. This was all in one box.
There's a thrift store in the parking lot of the post office?
Yes, there is.
That's like magic. It's just like straight up magic right there.
It's awesome. And so I always tell Bill, come on, let's go. So we found this was one big box. They wanted $1 each. So I took it up and I said, if I buy the whole box, can I get a better price? She gave them to us for half price. So we paid $24 and sold them for full asking price of $180. So these are definitely a bolo. Isn't this interesting? There's a little.
I started to read it and then I'm gonna like, I'll back up and wait and see what she says.
Yeah, it's just we found it 25 cents actually at Savers, and it has a little album in it. And we accepted a best offer of I think $24. So I was happy to see. You know,
so what is it exactly?
There's a record in it. It had a little record in it. I don't know if did we do a picture of just the record by itself?
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, there we are. So I'd never seen anything like this. I thought, what the heck? It's Christmas. And we did some research, but we figured out we'll take the best offer and let that go to a new buyer. So that was a fun find.
Yeah, that's a little something different from you.
Yes.
Right, so funny enough, and I didn't even set it up this way. It just happened to fall that way. This is the second time I have sold this exact record, Mud Boy and the Neutrons, and I sold for $80 both times. But the unique thing was, the person who bought it emailed me and said, "Hey, where'd you find this? I'm actually related to one of the people by way of marriage. I'm friends with another one of the guys in the band, and it's a 1986 record of a band that really never got any big. Enough people, there's enough people still looking for it, and it was so weird to have a customer buy it who knew the players in the band, and they didn't have a copy of the record.
Awesome. Now they can get it autographed.
Yeah." Yeah, well, I don't know if everyone's still alive, but I like your thinking. So you saw this one on a thrift haul I did. This was still sitting on the rack after 5.5 weeks at Savers. And I know there's other resellers that go through the Savers. I know there's other reseller YouTubers in town that go through the Saver. And no one picked up the Slee Stack t-shirt that I picked up for $2 and sold for $26.24 in about a month. So I don't know if people don't know what Slee Stacks are.
I don't.
What?
Is it part of Star Wars? The little guys?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's tell Debbie what Slee Stacks are.
I mean, it looks like something from Star Wars.
I am shocked right now. Here, I'll help you out. I'll show you the tag. Do you remember this show?
Oh, yeah. I didn't watch it. But
in the land of the Lord.
But that would have been a good tip. You know, that's a perfect tip because you got the show name in it, and it's different, and it's a ringer.
It's a ringer, yep. And it's not an old shirt, 2009. So but I was happy to find it, and I was happy to sell it.
Did you find other shirts like that on eBay so that if someone was checking?
No one had that exact Slee Stack shirt, so I was excited. Oh. So I'm excited to get $27.
Nice.
Now, every Hawaiian shirt is fancy. And this one, I probably wouldn't have picked up if it wasn't new with tags because it's fine. It's a fine shirt, but it's not all that thrilling.
Right.
Although Kahala is a good brand, but new with tags, I got almost $38 for it. Yeah,
we've sold several Kahala shirts.
And I know it's June 6th, but of course, someone needs a Star Wars Christmas ornament. So that shipped out today, and I sold it on Amazon. So there's a couple bonus lessons. Christmas sells all year, and you can sell ornaments on Amazon. Woo!
Now, did you have to create a listing for it on Amazon, or was there?
Nope.
There was one.
All Hallmark ornaments, for the most part, already have a listing on Amazon.
Nice, and that doesn't look Christmassy. And Star Wars Land just opened at Disneyland, so no wonder someone wanted it.
It doesn't look Christmassy, but it is a Christmas ornament. All right, we've done our regular scores. Now it's time for my CD score of the week. All right. Oh, crap. I forgot to look this up. Maybe I'll do it when Mark's talking. So Dark Crystal soundtrack, I just sold it for $68. Now, I did pay $25 for it. And so even after all the smoke cleared, I still had a nice profit. But what's funny is the person who bought it lives about 6 miles from where I bought it.
Wow.
In LA. So I drove to LA, bought it, drove it back, and then sold to the person in LA who's 6 miles from the store. So it's just another lesson in, even though people live close to a popular record store, doesn't mean they're going to go, but they are going to order online. So I was happy to sell that soundtrack for $68. Now, we were in Chicago, and my wife is getting pretty good at picking CDs. And I always double check her work, and she had skipped over some Donovans. I go, no, there's a lot of Donovans that are worth some money. And I think I shared a Donovan a couple weeks ago too, Deb.
Yep.
And here's another one. This just sold this week, $50. I paid $7.99 at the record store in Chicago. So Chicago does good for me in
awesome.
many ways. All right, that's my CDs for the week. Now, how about some cassettes? Emancipation by Prince, $33 for a used cassette.
Wait a minute. People are buying cassette tapes?
What? I know, it's crazy. I sold this one today. Hearing aid. This was the heavy metal version of We Are the World.
Oh.
Back in the day. And I paid $2 for this one. I sold it for $20.
Nice.
And I put 22 alternative rock cassettes from the 90s together that aren't worth really much by themselves and sold them for $37.49 plus $6 shipping. Now, you may say to yourself, why is Jason showing us a lot of cassettes? Because I got a webinar coming up.
Yay! I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, Flipping Cassettes live webinar, June 18th. And if you've seen this picture rolling around in my groups, you should look at it a little bit closer if you haven't already. That's all I'm going to say about that. But if you head over to flippingcassettes.com, it's where you'll see the sign up. And look, I know it's 2019. Why people want to buy cassettes, especially 30-year-old cassettes, is beyond me, but I don't care. Here's what I care about. We all can make money because there's crazy money to be made in cassettes. In the last 2 days, all my sales on all platforms, except that Christmas ornament, was all media. It was all CDs and all cassettes.
Nice.
Yeah, I did like $400 in the last 2 days in just CDs and cassettes.
Wow. Mind-blowing.
All right. So head over to flippingcassettes.com, get signed up. You do not want to miss it because it's, if you've taken any of my webinars, you know the kind of content I pack in there. And if you took the CD webinar, which I hope you did, don't think you can apply the same thought process to the cassette webinar, because here's where it gets weird. CDs that are worth a penny, their cassette versions are worth 20, and vice versa. CDs that are worth 20, their cassette versions are worth a penny. So it's a whole different mindset and a whole different set of skills I have to teach you. So that's why you want to tune in. It's gonna be awesome.
And that's a great price. A lot of times people charge so much for webinars, but that's a great $20.
$20. You look, I just showed you a cassette that sold for $33. You find one cassette that's paid for your webinar. That's it.
That's right.
Just one, and the rest is gravy. And Ron's got a great question in the chat. Do people still play these or just collect them? And we're going to talk about that webinar. Some are played and some are collected. I'm going to show you cassettes that sell for over $1,000.
No way.
Yeah. So get ready. That's coming up in less than 2 weeks. Get signed up now. You want to be there. But not everything is a winner. Sometimes we have duds of the week too. Do not let our mistakes be yours. Oops.
It's really important to inspect the items that you're buying. Bill was out garage selling and he brought this home and he loved the graphics and he held it up and he says, "Do you think this brown's going to come out?" And I said, "It looks like it got ironed or burnt or something." So we went ahead and washed it. No way, it's not coming out, but it's his new favorite shirt to wear while he's listing.
That's what happens. That's what happens.
Yep, it's still cool. And then these have been in our profit pile for a while, and I thought, hey, it's vintage Disneyland. It's got to be worth something, but they're not. They're not worth selling. I don't have a lot of duds in my inventory in our store because I'm trying to prevent that from happening. But we're not even going to bother listing. I think I'm just going to add them to my little Disneyland collection myself and keep them because sadly they're not worth selling right now. Anyway, profit piles do increase in value over time, maybe in 5 more years.
Real quick, backing up just a quick smidge. I didn't realize Stacy had sent this over. Jeanette Heritage said, "Thanks to you, I found a vintage I insured at Goodwill today with 2 sold comps, 89 and 99, and no others in print currently listed." Yay, that makes me happy.
That's awesome.
All right, look, I am happy to share all my duds with you. Some CDs I buy are not winners. I paid $3.99 for this. I sold it for $3.84, and Amazon fees are a little on the heftier side. So yeah, this was a loser all the way around. But when you buy a product, sometimes by the time you list it or by the time it sells, it's just not there anymore.
That's right.
And that's part of the duds. And so you don't focus on it too much, but you realize not everything you bring home is going to be a winner. And so if you happen to see the soundtrack, don't pick it up.
Good tip. At least you got most of your money back, so that was good.
Ish. Now it's time for Where in the World? Where in the world did our stuff go? If you're not shipping internationally, you're leaving out 7.3 billion with a B potential customers. I thought you sent a dessert. I was so excited. I'm like, oh, it's a book.
Yeah, these are the Time Life books. As I shared before, instead of selling all these together, we're doing a different thing this time, and it's been really good for us. We're putting those together. Went to West Vancouver, Canada.
That's not really international.
Well,
that's like the 51st state.
Yeah, especially when I used to live up in Washington State. It was just across the border.
Mine went a smidge further. Mine went to Marseille. The band Death on cassette, no less. Spiritual Healing. Now, I know, Debbie, you're a big Death fan. I know you're a huge Death fan.
Is that the name of a band?
Yes, that's the name of the band, Death.
Okay. Well, hey.
All right, so shockingly, we both have one of these tonight.
Yeah, I've been waiting.
Close Encounters of the Thrifty kind. Little fun or weird experiences in the thrift store when we're out and about.
Were you surprised when I made this graphic?
Yeah, I'm like, what's going on here?
Okay, we were on vacation at one of our favorite little thrift stores, and I was checking out, and I looked over to the right, and I said to the clerk, I said, oh, wait, I haven't looked over there yet. And he goes, too bad. It's too late. Once you're up here, you cannot go back. And I go, what? And he goes, unless you buy me lunch. And I said, and what would you like for lunch? And he told us exactly what he wanted from McDonald's. No mayonnaise, He wanted a milk, the whole thing. And so I said, oh, okay. So we checked out, and I got in the car, and I told Bill, we are going to McDonald's and buying him lunch. So we went through the drive-thru, and I brought it back, and I took it up to him, and he was checking someone else, and he looked shocked. He said, are you serious? I said, yeah, you said you wanted lunch. You told me what you wanted. Here it is. And he almost cried, but I didn't want to take his picture because I thought, that's kind of privacy issues. But yeah, that was really fun.
Well, if you ask him, it's not a private, hey, I can take a picture. I'm going to show it on this YouTube show. If he says no, then yes, there would be a privacy issue. But if he says, sure, no problem. But speaking of, I forgot to take a picture too. So last week we had Nicole on the show, and one of her specialties is bikini tops. And I have never, ever looked at the bikini top section. So Stacey and we had a Saturday night date night, which included a little bit of thrifting. And here was the Thrifty Encounter, and it was so cool and so awesome. I love when these kind of things happen. So Stacey and I are just moving about the store, and I don't know if you know this, but my voice gives me away wherever I go.
Really?
Yeah. And the new night manager walked up to me and said, Jason? I go, yeah. She goes, hey, I'm Trudy. I'm the new night manager here. I'm a huge fan. I'm in the thrifting board, and I watch your YouTube shows. And I was hoping I'd bump into you someday while I was working here. I'm like, get out of here. So Trudy, hi.
That's awesome. And it's nice to see Stacey's actually smiling while she's thrifting now.
Yeah, we found some goodies that night. So those kind of things just touch me. I've been doing TV and YouTube and the groups for a long, long time. And when people who I've never, ever met or interacted with, when I don't even realize they're watching me or paying attention, they come up and say hi and thanks. That totally just makes my day, makes my week. It's awesome.
That is awesome.
All right, so now it's time for our thrifty tip of the week. Little tips and tricks to help you out when you're sourcing.
Okay. Did you know that eBay sends us messages, and there's a link in there where you can go in and look for bestseller items that are selling? I chose the golf clubs, and I figured, yes, they're showing us new items, but if I get familiar with new items that are expensive, and then I can maybe find them used and still sell them. So there's all different kinds of clothing, different items in there. And then also, if you click on where it says Get Sourcing Guide, that'll take you to Terapeak. So you can also be looking on Terapeak at BOLOs and high price things, and just kind of get familiar with items, because nobody can know everything. And so as we get more familiar with items, it expands our thrifting ability.
What? We don't know everything? What?
No, I don't, at least. Maybe you do.
No, I don't either. I'm always learning. All right. Sometimes I like to show tips I've shared in the past when they come true in front of me. And so if you see the 2 yellow arrows, we're in the vase section. And hey, look where the tiki mug was. So if you're not looking in the vase section, you're missing out on tiki mugs, because that's what every single thrift store in America thinks is a vase. A tiki mug's a vase. So
Nice.
yeah, walked in, there's the Kraken tiki mug. You got that free when you bought a bottle of Kraken. I didn't have one, and so nice. I got it for $1.60. Woo! Woo!
Good job.
All right, now it's time for You Have Got to Be Shipping Me. Little tips and tricks, what to do and what not to do when it comes to shipping.
Okay, I don't know if you've noticed, but when we print out our packing slips now, we do include one in our packages. It's not showing what they paid for it or what they paid for shipping. I don't know what's going on, but there is a workaround. If you go into your orders and you click that drop down, click on print shipping labels or invoices, another box will open, click invoice packing slip. At the bottom, it says continue, click print, and then you get this generic looking invoice with a little star by it. So all the information is right there. And some buyers do like to have, that information. So until eBay figures this out, or if they never do, here's your workaround.
I like when we have workarounds. Heck yeah. All right. So silly me, forgot to take a picture of, when I do a before and after, or like a shipping pictures, I forgot to take a picture of the item before I wrapped it. It was already halfway wrapped. I'm like, oh crap. So this was a gift I sent to my parents. It's this one, the big one right there. And just to kind of show you the scale, the size of it, there it is in their living room next to the fireplace. And it's a big carved wood tiki mask. There is nothing fragile about it. So I didn't need to be careful like it was breakable. However, I did wrap it just in a thin sheet of bubble. I probably could have used the heavy duty saran wrap, but I didn't have any handy. And I just wanted to wrap in the bubble because I did want to put the pool noodle around the perimeter, not so much to protect it, but because that way I can use a much lighter box. I didn't need to use a heavy duty box because it's just a big block of wood, essentially.
Nice.
So this way I had one of the boxes that other boxes came in, and usually those boxes aren't real thick. Oh, so just to show you the size.
Wow.
There I am holding it. And there it is. So that's one of the eBay boxes that other boxes came in. And so I just kind of curled the box over and made it to fit. But that pool noodles gave it a little bit of cushion and stability within the box. And as you could see, it got to my mom and dad's house properly, and it's hanging up, and they love it. So,
and that's a great tip too, to save the boxes if the boxes come in,
because they're different sizes than most other boxes.
Yes, they are.
Stacy was trying to throw some away the other day. I'm like, no. She goes, it's not thick. I go, I don't always need a thick box, but I just need the box sometimes, and they're all different sizes.
Yep.
All right. Time for our eBay tip of the week. Little tips and tricks to help you out when you're selling online.
Okay. Sometimes we list items that are like, working, non-working, but there's parts only. And we cannot rely on our buyers to realize I'm in the non-working parts, or, non-working parts only category. So you have to be very explicit. Put it in the title, put it in the condition, put it in the description. And you can also do a custom item specific. It'll be a little blue link in your item specifics. You click on that and that little box pops up, and at the top you could put condition and then parts only, or doesn't work. So please don't think that your buyers are going to understand. And sometimes people will even say parts only, non-working, but it's in good condition. No, don't say that. It's not good condition if it's not working. So just really think, as a buyer, you don't want them to return the item. So always add non-working everywhere you can. Don't expect them to read one part of your listing and get the picture.
Yeah, that's pretty right, Deb. Don't expect them to read really anything. All right. I don't know if I shared this picture before, but I just sold this recently, and I wanted to show it to you.
Ooh, I like that.
This is my opening photo on neckties. And it could have been cropped just a smidge tighter, but this is pretty good. We roll it up all nice and then bring the big end out and pretty much stick it in the corner of the picture. So it's a nice square photo, but then I also then show it tied on the male mannequin. So it's a 1-2 look. This displays nicely, and this shows it kind of in use nicely. Okay.
I like that.
But that's how I do neckties. I don't do a ton of neckties anymore, but this one was super cool. $2. I sold for $22. But this is how I display them. So it really fills the square nicely.
Great tip, because Bill's in the middle of listing a box of ties right now. And I've never thought you could find a Tappa necktie.
Yeah. And it wasn't even marked as whole. It was from a company called Big E Beverly Hills, Hartford quality necktie. It didn't say or mention Polynesian anywhere, but of course that's what it is.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I got to get that. Yeah. And someone wanted it. Someone's rocking that right now on their at their office.
Awesome.
All right, a little bit of housekeeping, then we'll get Mark in here and get him rolling. Next week, Margaret Collier is back. We haven't seen Margaret in a while, and she's back. And, we've talked about jewelry in the past with her, but I think we want to back up because we've never talked about jewelry for beginners.
Yes.
Jewelry's everywhere, kind of like jeans with Joy and CDs with me and books with Debbie. But like with everything, you can't just buy it and hope. You got to have a little bit of jumping off points. So Margaret's going to be able to give those to us.
Awesome. She's the queen. She's the jewelry queen.
Yep. And eBay Open, the schedule for events. We're having our usual Ask Juice party on Sunday, the Double Down, for those of you who are coming in early. Ask Juice is way yummier than it sounds. Debbie will attest to that.
Yes, it is.
Monday, for those of you in the Secret Beach, we have a new band. As much as we love Franks and Deans, they're on tour this year, so I found the perfect replacement. The New Waves, all surf 80s tunes, 80s new wave tunes.
Nice.
And every tune so we were hanging out at the bar watching them. At one point I go, I thought they didn't have a singer. Nope, it was just the whole bar singing with them. They were singing, but the whole bar knew all the words. So
love it.
So that's for the Secret Beach Bash. And yes, t-shirts are being put together this weekend. Tiki party at Frankie's on Tuesday for everybody. Please bring your best Hawaiian shirt or muumuu. You don't have to have it, but if you do, please do. And then Friday is our big thrift class on steroids, number 3. The sign up is right down below to get signed up for it. We got Debbie doing books. You got me doing Forgotten Media. You got Joy doing jeans. You got my mom doing ladies' clothes. You got Craig from Craft doing the wall of baggies. We have never taught the wall of baggies before, and I love the wall of baggies, so that is going to be fun. You get 8 instructors for basically the price of 1. It is the most epic thrift class you're ever going to be in. It is number 3. Get signed up now.
And I always like to add, we work hard to find items for you guys to buy to help pay for your admission into the class. So
yeah, that's the cool thing is, what we do is we do 2 hours of classroom time where we do 20-minute presentations. And then we talk about the by the pound area of the thrift store. Then we go into the whole thrift store. But while I'm giving the first presentation, the other instructors are out in the store picking all the good stuff for you to give to you guys to buy. And then we'll go out into the store together as a giant group, working our way around the store to look at other things. Because, of course, while class is going on, new stuff's coming out the whole time, too. That's the other bonus. Come on in. That's the other bonus is there's always new stuff coming out.
Yes.
Constantly. The flow in this town never, ever ends. I live in a city that people move in and out of all day long. And because of that, when they leave, they just like go and they take everything and they leave it with it. All right, Mark, hop on in here, buddy. And let's say hello to our guest this week, shall we?
Everybody see me?
Hey, everybody, it's Mark from Bubblefast.
Hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Hey, everybody. You can hear me? See me fine?
Yes, what's happening, brother?
Right. Well, we're finally getting some nice weather in Chicago. It's like 2 months past due, but finally enjoying it. How you guys doing?
It's because I'm bringing you 3 sons. See, that's why. I see
that. Can you pass some over electronically?
I'll try. Here you go.
Here's my cup. Just give me a fork.
All right, hold on. There we go.
Got it. Thank you so much. Cheers.
There you go. And thank you. Acting. All right.
Love it.
So, what I was hoping for is, and nothing exists, Bubblefast just had his birthday, and it just turned 1 year old.
Congratulations.
There's a lot of 21-year-old age rums, but there's no rums that they stop at age 20. So I was like, damn it, next year we'll do the 21-year age rum. So if you don't know, Bubblefast, it is the premier place to get all your supplies. So what kind of supplies do you sell? What besides bubble wrap? What else you guys offer?
Well, we have bubble wrap, and we have boxes, and we have tape, and we have craft bubble mailers, and we have poly bubble mailers and poly bags, and just about anything you can think of that you need for shipping. We are an online shipping supply seller to other online sellers, so we do specialize in knowing what you need to ship because we ship the same things.
Don't forget your Scotty stuffers.
Oh, the Scotty stuffers. Yeah, that's a box that we created to be the largest size box possible to fit inside your first, your flat rate priority pattern mailer. And so it was actually invented originally so you can ship coffee mugs at a flat rate price instead of paying, the regular priority price. And we created that, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years ago. And people love it. They use it for everything. Anything breakable, you put in the Scotty stuffer, and you can ship it in a pattern mailer for one flat rate. So Debbie, thank you for asking about that.
Yeah.
So people are saying, oh, that reminds me, I got to order this. I got to order that. So real quick, let me show you this.
Woohoo!
I'm going to show it to you later, but if you're going to order, head over to bubblefast.com. You can't do the discount on eBay. You got to go right to the bubblefast.com and you plug in Tiki%, you get Tiki%. You plug in Tiki Pug and you get 10% off your whole order. And if you've never picked up a Scotty peeler, you need one of these.
Yes.
I have about 7, and there's, because I have a big office now. And so they're every nook and cranny because you never know where you're going to be working. And so when you want to take off price tags, and I buy a lot of media that still has price tags on them.
Yep,
and so I get out the hair dryer, I warm it up, and then Scotty peel it off. So I save my fingernails.
I even gave one to the guy that works in the back room of the library with me. He said, quit using your fingernails here.
So Jason, that was such a good plug. So let's see, today's 6/6. From today until 6/13, anybody who orders on the website with the Tiki Pug 10% off code will get a free Scotty peeler.
There you go.
We need shipping labels.
And we didn't set that up. I was just like, hey, I love this product. It's never far from me. That's why I have 7 of them, because I work here, I work there, I work there, I work there. They got to be around because I'm always pulling stuff off of things that I just bought.
Are you going to bring those to eBay open to give out to us, Mark?
I certainly can.
Oh, yay.
Mark just forgets they're like thick plastic and just chucks them in the crowd. People like, ah.
Incoming.
All right, but we're not here just to shill for you, but we will do that all night.
Yeah.
But we are here to talk about what we all need to know about in 2 weeks, really.
Yeah, it's coming up pretty quick. So you see my picture up there, cartoonish looking. That's my wife, Robin. So Robin and I run Bubblefast, which started by shipping its first roll of bubble wrap back in 1999. So it has been 20 years since last month. And the thing is that bubble wrap and boxes and big cases of bubble mailers, that's big stuff. And back in the day, dimensional weight wasn't a thing, so it didn't matter so much. But in order for us to survive through all the dimensional weight rules changes throughout the years, we have had to become very, very efficient shippers ourselves. So we've studied and we know all the rules, and it's very important. And so we try to pass this along to all of our e-commerce friends as much as possible. And this year, I got to say, is some of the most dramatic changes that the USPS has brought to us. You all know that January 27th, earlier this year, is when USPS made some changes, the usual rate changes. And the big change at the time was changing first class package to zone priced shipping. That was pretty dramatic. And some of the changes we're going to talk about today were also scheduled to be in effect June 27th, but they were so big and so huge and so controversial and so much pushback that the post office actually gave us more time to figure out what to do, and they delayed those new changes until June 23rd of this year, which, as Jason said, is just a couple weeks away. So you ready to get into some of those changes?
Let's do it.
All right. So the two of you, if you see any questions, on your side and you want to interject anytime, please feel free to do so, and I'll happy to answer any questions I can. So right now, the changes that are going to be made with USPS are the dim weight changes, the dimensional weight changes, which for currently right now, for priority mail in zones 1 through 4, there is no such thing as dimensional weight. Your billable weight, what you get charged, is your actual weight. And from zones 5 through 9 today, you do have to use dimensional weight for your products. And dimensional weight is a formula, length times width times height, currently divided that by 194. That's what we call the dimensional divisor. And don't worry about the math. I'm actually going to show you some examples later. The big change coming up in a couple weeks from now is that dimensional weight for priority mail is going to take place from zone 1 and 2 all the way forward, not just 5 through 9. And that's huge because we've been using priority mail for closer zones and FedEx rate for further, so FedEx ground for further zones, because those rates are cheaper than expensive priority mail. So I do want to go back a little bit. These changes for dimensional weight really only affect items that weigh more than a pound. If it weighs less than a pound, you're going to ship it first class. It will affect you if you take a less than a pound item and want to ship it priority mail, but most people do first class. And anything that is cubic foot or less, there is no dimensional weight. So for thrifters, we all know we ship a lot of large items, as Jason showed us, the big tiki wall plaque. So this is going to affect a lot of thrifters who have been using priority mail in zones 1 through 4. And so anything that's big but not necessarily heavy, you're going to get some major changes. So if it's okay, and if I can work this properly, I am going to try to do a screen share. And let's do a share here. Can you guys see this screen?
Yeah.
Can you guys see this?
Yep.
Priority mail example 1. Okay, so if you take a package whose actual weight is 2 pounds, and the dimensions are normal size box, 18 by 16 by 10, that's not that big. It's 1.67 cubic feet. Today, there's no divisor in zones 1 through 4. So zone 3, there's no divisor. So the billing weight is 2 pounds, and you can ship through priority mail through eBay for $7.61. Or you can do FedEx through eBay for $13.99. Today, also for zone 7, because it's past zone 5, you have to use a divisor of 194. So now your billing weight is 15 pounds. And you can see right here, it's 18 by 16 by 10 divided by 194. 14.85 is rounded up. So now with UPS, priority mail is $40.65 or $24.30 for eBay FedEx. So here you see right now it's in yellow, it's going to be less expensive. Come June 23rd, the divisor is going to change from 194 to 166, and it's going to apply to all zones, including zones 3. So the same package that used to cost $7.61 in a couple of weeks, priority mail, zone 3, is now going to cost $18.11. That is a huge difference. And you can see it's only $13.99 for FedEx, which is the same. Now let's take the same package, zone 7, and again, it's billing weight of 18 pounds. You're now going to go from you're not going to go from $40.56 to $47.29. So you would use FedEx with eBay for $24.30. So this column here just shows the difference. You're going to lose $6.73 for this package in zone 7, and about $6.50 also for the zone package today. So this really it's 2 changes for priority mail. Number 1, you're losing the ability to not have dimensional weight for zones 2 through 4, and you're changing your divisor from 194 to 166. Real quick, same format. Now I'm taking our rolls of bubble wrap is 18 by 18 by 24 inches. So right now we can ship that to zone 3 for $8.20. It's going to cost $33.74.
Oh my God. No way.
It's huge. It's a huge difference. So we're going to have to. So right now, I'll get back into this in a second. Right now, we're using Parcel Select for zones 5 through 9 or 5 through 8. We're going to have to switch that to FedEx also. So anything here in yellow is the cheaper prices. But you see that changes are dramatic, from $8.20 to $33.74 The only difference is turning the page on the calendar.
Wow.
So it is definitely a very dramatic change. All right. So I'm going to.
So the person they send to eBay Open is just going to be assaulted the entire 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that, I mean, eBay isn't making these rules. It's the post office.
Oh, right. I'm saying
Rules
the
for everybody.
person the USPS sends
Yeah.
to the man at the USPS booth is going to be just a long line of us with pitchforks and torches.
So basically, the post office is telling us they don't want our packages anymore. They just want small, heavy packages or just small, lightweight packages. They're just giving it to FedEx and UPS.
Yeah.
So the next thing we want to talk about was Parcel Select. And Parcel Select before the change had what was called balloon rate. So anything that had length plus girth over 84 inches automatically went at the 20-pound rate if it was less than 20 pounds. They actually took that away. So we kind of had a free ride from January 27th until now. But come June 23rd, we're going to have the same problem. We are now going to have dimensional weight again from the beginning all the way through the end. So today, this is Parcel Select. If you have a product that's 8 pounds and 14 by 14 by 14 in size, the bill of weight right now is 8 pounds and you can ship at $9.77 Parcel Select through eBay, which is cheaper than going through eBay for FedEx at $13.94. Zone 7, it's pretty close between Parcel Select and FedEx. So you may want to choose FedEx today because it's a faster service. Now we go to June 23rd when you have a 166 divisor, and now we have a billing weight of 17 pounds instead of 8. And that's because we're doing 14 by 14 by 14 divided by 166. You round the 1653 up to 17 pounds. So instead of paying $9.77, the same package is going to cost $17.47
Wow.
for Parcel Select. A slow, not so good service is going to cost more money than a better, faster service with FedEx. And you don't even want to talk about Zone 7. We're going from $25.55 up to $44.77 because we don't have dimensional weight now at all for Parcel Select, but we will have it for Parcel Select come June 23rd.
So let me point this out. This is a perfect time to take my Flipping Cassettes webinar because they weigh 3.5 ounces.
Good point. And they're so small.
And you can make, just as much profit. So you may want to rethink your niche. That's something you have to consider.
So I can see a lot of people go into local pickup only for their bigger items.
Well, there are options, but again, it's like the post office is just saying these packages take up too much room. We'll be happy to take them from you, but you're really going to pay because they can fit a lot more smaller packages in a truck or in an airplane than they can the big ones. And so certainly their profit margins are much better when they have more packages because they charge a base rate and then a per mile after that. So any questions at this point? I'm going to get into Express otherwise.
I was going to ask, this is all set up in eBay, right? So I don't have to run all these numbers. We could just go in and plug in what we have and it's going to spit it out for us.
That is correct. But if you have a lot of listings now, we'll talk about this a little bit more later, that are set up with free shipping, you're going to be in trouble losing money on shipping. Or if you have calculated shipping and you chose priority now and other people selling the same product are going to switch to FedEx, you're going to lose the opportunity to have the lowest price product. So you really need to reevaluate all of your listings that are affected by this change between now and June 23rd.
Okay, good point.
So Jerry Pendleton, who sells not exclusively, but he's a big golf club seller. He's like, oh no, there goes golf clubs, because that would be 48 by 8 by 8 and 2 pounds.
Ouch.
Yeah.
There goes golf clubs through the post office.
That's what I was going to say, because we're going to talk about the alternatives, right?
Exactly. So it's not all doom and gloom, but I can't tell you the good stuff until we get through the bad. We're almost there. We're almost there. So let's talk briefly about Priority Express. It's the same thing. Right now, there is no dimensional weight to go Priority Mail Express. So the same 3-pound package from the first example, it weighs 3 pounds. We don't have to worry about dimensional weight right now. You can ship it for $26.65 through eBay priority mail. And FedEx 2-day through eBay is $42.86. So in every single example, eBay is the better rate for Zone 3 today. If you want to ship the exact same product as Zone 7, you're going to pay $44.76. That's a lot of money, but it's going far away, and it is 2-day express. And here FedEx is $102. But now let's talk about June 23rd. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Now we talk about taking this 3-pound package, and now it's going to be built at 18 pounds.
Wow.
Okay. The exact same package that today costs us $26.65 Priority Mail Express will now cost us $78.08.
Wow.
Okay. If you want to ship something fast, you're going to have to consider going to FedEx 2-day, right? And that's $42.86, which is even cheaper than what it is. It's the same as it is today for FedEx. In Zone 7, if you want to ship something Zone 7 that's only 18 by 16 by 10, it's going to cost $112.56 to ship that Priority Mail Express in June. And only it's $102 for 2-day FedEx.
So John says, how the heck is this even legal? It's I can charge $1,000 for this cassette. If you want it, you're gonna have to pay it. You know
exactly. They don't have a monopoly on shipping. They can charge whatever they want, and we could choose not to select their service. And they're asking us not to select their service. Basically, that's what it boils down to.
Seems like pretty soon it'll be cheaper to buy an airplane ticket and fly it there.
Yeah, pretty much, especially if it's a nice warm climate. So that's it. I mean, the changes are not many, and they're not complicated. They're just very dire. And you need to be aware of what these changes are now to prepare yourselves. Because if you have 1,000 listings and you have to change them all, you got to start figuring out what you need to change it to. And speaking of which, like I said, there are options. You know, what is it that we can do to still be able to be viable shippers on eBay? So what we do right now, like I said, is for larger packages in zones 1 through 4, we'll ship priority mail. And the same package that's going to go zones 5 through 9 today, we're going to ship parcel select. That's not going to work anymore because parcel select is going to be more than priority and more than FedEx. So it's a slower service, and it's going to be more money. They don't want us to use that service either. So the only real reasons why you will have to use parcel select is if you have hazmat materials that you're shipping, because it has to go ground, or if you have a package that's just too large for priority mail to accept. And so otherwise, don't even bother looking at parcel select. So now is a really good time to start looking at FedEx or UPS. You can ship FedEx right now on eBay with their rates. It doesn't mean you shouldn't contact a UPS or FedEx sales rep in your area to try to come up with some discounted rates of your own. And there's a lot of reasons for this. Depending upon how much you ship, you can negotiate discounts on your rates. But what most people are not aware of is you can actually negotiate a larger dimensional divisor. That's the bottom number. Right now we're going from 194 to 166. Well, if you right now, I'm sorry, what? Oh, so regular FedEx right now, that was Robin giving me the tip.
Hi, Robin.
Right now, regular FedEx is 139. That's really bad. But people that do a number, a good enough shipping almost never use the 139. You can get your own 194 almost just by asking, by saying, look, I'd rather go with FedEx at 194 than, and that's what UPS offered me, so will you give it to me? And I don't know of anybody who couldn't get at least a 194 on their own. And what's good about going with FedEx is that the more you ship, the bigger the discounts you get. So it's possible you might, like us, we actually get better FedEx rates than we can get from eBay. So it depends upon how much you ship. And one of the downsides that people have about shipping FedEx is that, I go to the post office every day, or the post office picks up. What am I supposed to do with my FedEx packages? So there's a few things you can do for that. Walgreens across the country is accepting FedEx packages right now. There's FedEx Office, there's other stores. There's a website you can go to called local.fedex.com, local.fedex.com, and you punch in your zip code and it'll tell you all the FedEx drop-off areas near you. And you can, just like you drop off the post office, you can drop off at those FedEx. I'm going to do a quick screen share again to show that to you.
And while you're doing that, when you ship FedEx through eBay, it pops up on your screen. Hey, Jason, by the way, here's the 2 closest FedExes to you based on your address. So that helps you out too.
That is very good. Can you see my my screen here?
Not yet. We see your lovely face, sir.
Okay, so how did I not get that to screen share? Again, share. All right.
There we go. Ooh, it's like, woo.
Why is it doing that?
I used to have wallpaper
there you
like
go.
that.
There you go.
Oh, you see up here, it's just local.fedex.com, and there's a very specific reason why I need to show this to you. So I'm going to put in my zip code 60031, and I'm going to hit search nearby. And what it's showing me are all the FedEx shipping centers and FedEx office shipping centers. Well, that's there, so of course that's what they're going to show you. But like I said, there's like Walgreens started doing this 6-8 months ago, whatever, where there's many Walgreens that you can use to drop off your FedExes. If you go to the filter right here and you click on FedEx Dropbox and FedEx On Site, whoa, let's see here. There's a Walgreens, there's FedEx Dropboxes, there's Walgreens. So you have to remember to go to the filter to get other, so Walgreens may be a lot closer to you. Like we have 3 of them in my town at least. So Walgreens may be closer to you than a FedEx office, or you may not have a FedEx office at all. So I just wanted to show you this as a demonstration to make sure that you click on the filter button. So it's local.fedex.com. So one option is to negotiate your contract, get better discounts, and to get a larger divisor, and then drop off to FedEx. Another option, if you're going to ship enough, is to have a daily pickup, and a daily pickup costs you $14.50 a week, and that's going to depend upon your volume and whether or not you feel that that's a good deal for you. It's not a lot of money if you ship a lot of packages, and it saves you the time from having to go out every day if you ship that much with FedEx.
Okay, this question keeps coming up, but we never said this. They keep saying, is flat rate going away?
Flat rate post office or flat rate FedEx?
Yeah, flat rate post office.
Okay, so again, anything that's less than a cubic foot in the post office is not going to change. So your one rate boxes, your regional rate boxes, your flat rate boxes, your flat rate padded mailer, your box A, B, and all that stuff, none of that's going away. As long as you can, if this really only affects you, if you have packages that that weigh more than a pound, and 1 cubic foot, think about 12 by 12 by 12, that's 1 cubic foot. 12 by 12 by 12 equals 1728. So if you go length times width times height with your package and divide it by 1728, if it's more than 1, the answer is more than 1, then these changes will affect you. They will not affect you if the answer is less than 1. So all of every single USPS product box that I know is less than a cubic foot. So you can still use all of those, and the rate increases have already taken place as of January 27th, early this year. So this is only affecting larger packages that weigh more than a pound. Is that clear it up a little bit?
Yep.
Yeah, any other questions?
Just about 1,000.
Okay. Well, I can go on, or I can start answering questions.
Let's answer a few.
Okay, I'd be happy to.
Stacy decided she would do questions tonight. She's like, oh my God, I can't even keep up tonight.
Well,
I've got my Jeopardy Queen Robin next.
Will eBay be doing the calculations? We put in all the dimensions correctly so the customer can put on their zip code and get an idea of shipping. Yeah, that'll still work the same.
Yeah. Only thing that it's changing are the rates. In the way that it's being calculated. I mean, the eBay shipping calculator already uses dimensional weight right now. They just have to make sure it's from zones 1 through 4 in addition to 5 through 9.
Will this affect international at all?
So it does not affect international at all. There's one tiny international change, and that's first class mail international. It will now have a weight limit. First class mail international will now have a weight limit of 1 pound when you send documents in a flat or large envelope. That's the only change that I'm aware of for international.
Okay. Like Donna said, will this affect the padded bubble or just larger items?
Only items larger than 1 cubic foot.
Right. And
so for those of you that are doing T-shirts and coffee mugs and tiki mugs and Scotty peelers and all that little stuff, you're not going to be affected at all. Your change has already taken place with the rate increase at the beginning of the year and the zone-based pricing for first class.
That's good.
All right. So if you drop off your FedEx at Walgreens, and maybe you don't know this, do they scan it right away, or are you just dropping off and running?
They do scan it right away.
All right. There you go. Boom. So anything bigger than a shoebox is when the rates go up. It just depends. Depends on what your idea of a shoebox is.
Well, again,
a Shaq shoebox and a Stacy shoebox are way different shoeboxes.
Again, the easiest way is just measure your package. Length times width times height divided by 1728. If it's greater than 1, you've got dimensional weight. If it's not greater than 1, you do not. That part is very simple. So that being said, we've talked about this a lot, but it's even more important now to make your packaging as safe but compact as possible. So, you got to use bubble wrap if you have to, but maybe you're overdoing it sometimes and you want to get that 1 inch extra off of your dimensional weight. As long as you feel comfortable that you packed your package safely, try to make it as small as possible. A lot of people, like you said, Jason, are saving boxes for other things, and that's still a great idea. But once you pack your package, you need to be able to maybe cut the package down to size so that the dimensions are smaller. So that's why we recommend this nifty little tool called the box sizer tool. Okay, this is a great tool to help you cut down the top of your box. It has a little dial here, and this moves up and down. And once you set the proper height of your box, then there's a wheel right here. It's a perforation wheel. Y'all see that? So you hold this on your box and you score it across all 4 sides, and then you cut the 4 corners, and you fold over the flaps, and your 12-inch box is now an 8-inch box. So everybody should have this as one of their best friends in their toolkit for shipping supplies.
And you have a good quality one.
We have a very good quality one. And in fact, thank you for asking. And as a matter of fact, I talked to Jason earlier. However you want to handle this, Jason, raffle questions, whatever you want, we're going to give you 2 box sizers for you to figure out a way to see who can win those from us. And we'll get those shipped out once we get the information from you.
All right, so let me think of that. But let me say this. When people are talking about the shoebox, priority box, you got to remember that there's no need to fill space that doesn't need to be filled. So sometimes I often do my FOMO method on tiki mugs, but sometimes I'll use the shoebox because it's tall. The cardboard isn't real thick, and I don't need really thick cardboard because the modern mugs are very dense, but I don't need it that tall. So I know here's what a lot of people do. They'll put some peanuts in the bottom, they'll wrap whatever, put in the middle, and then they'll fill the rest. Well, you don't need to fill the rest. Fill it to where you would normally do on any old regular box, and then just cut it down the corners and fold it over. So this is the whole point that Mark's trying to teach us is you got to know your numbers and watch. If you can trim off an inch here and an inch there, boom, you're into the magic area where you're not paying crazy money. You're just paying crazy money.
So now,
go
oh,
ahead.
I'm sorry. When we're cutting our boxes down, it's still important to make sure we round up, right? If your box is 1.5 inches, you still have to count it as 2 inches. Is
If
that
your
correct?
box is 1.1 inch, you still have to round it up.
Right, okay. And even the boxes, if you look at the bottom of a box, they'll have the measurements. Those are not usually accurate. Just like buying a 2x4 at the hardware store is not accurate.
The reason why is because if you see dimensions written on the bottom of a box, those are the inside dimensions.
Okay.
So you got to figure an extra 1/4 to 1/2 inch because of the thickness of the cardboard.
Right. So you might, they might put the measurements in, and then the buyer gets it, and then they get charged more because they undercharge for their shipping because they thought it was 2 inches. It was really 3.
So one thing that I'll do is if I have one side is 12.6, I'll round it up to 13, but another one is 12.5. I might round that one down to 12 because they kind of offset each other a little bit.
That's a good idea.
The bottom line is, when you're done, if you really want to do it right, just multiply length times width times height, divide that by 1728, and round that number up. And that's precise.
Okay.
And these boxes, when they go through, they get laser scanned, all 3 dimensions, and so they'll know how much they are.
Wow.
All right, so Steven's in the chat saying you got to order a box size. You don't have one. I fully agree, but Mark said he'll give 2 away. So here's my first trivia question. This is just off on the fly because I totally forgot to come up with it. I knew we were doing it, but I forgot to come up with an idea. All right. Since I'm teaching cassettes in 2 weeks, what's the name of this cassette? The first person who doesn't have a box sizer that puts the actual title of this album in the chat will win the first box sizer. Everyone knows the song off of this album.
Probably except me.
Shut up. Ice Ice Baby. You don't know Ice Ice Baby?
Did you just give the answer away?
Oh.
Oh.
And all the people writing Ice Ice Baby. Chris Brown, you sell cassettes. The name of the album is not Ice Ice Baby. Seriously. As I'm saying it, people are still guessing Ice Ice Baby.
They're going to have to take your class.
They are going to have
right.
to take a class. This is one of the largest selling rap albums of all time, and not one person knows the name of it. Boom. Chris R. got it. Yep.
Okay. So Jason, just give me Chris R's information, and we'll get it shipped out tomorrow. Congratulations, Chris.
Yay, Chris.
Yeah, Chris, send me your message. And John guessed 8 Mile, which is Eminem, which is funny as hell. All right, I'll come up with another one in a second. But now, Mark, let's talk about everyone's like, okay, FedEx Home, FedEx Smart Post.
Let's back up a little bit. I got
backing up.
a couple little tiny tips that may surprise you. Okay, so this goes contrary to what you would think. It like almost grates you the wrong way. But based on the new dimensions and the fact that the differences are so great with dimensional weight, you may want to consider not combining packages. It may be less expensive to ship 2 packages less than a cubic foot than 1 package greater than a cubic foot to, let's say, zone 7. It's not something that most people would think of.
You mean don't combine listing, like if they bought 3 transactions from you?
Right. If somebody bought multiple items, most of us put them in one box, and we figure overall we're saving on shipping.
Right.
But since the rules have changed, you have to rethink the way you package. Because once you cross up the threshold to over 1 cubic foot, you're really getting into expensive territory with the post office.
Now, is this going to affect my media mailboxes too?
No. Again, same rule. If it's any package that the post office gives you for free, none of that's affected.
Well, media mail's not for free though. They don't.
Well, any box that you get, media mail is not affected. This is just priority mail, parcel select, and priority mail express. Just those 2.
Thank goodness.
Let me hold you there real quick because people keep saying, "Will this affect pirate ship?" Pirate ship is just a way to buy USPS shipping labels. So don't think of it as it's a shipping company. It's no different than if you walk up to the USPS counter, other than they have a better rate online. But yeah, these changes will affect anywhere you buy shipping labels. All right, sorry. Back.
So Pirate Ship is no different than ShipStation or Stamps.com or Indicia. It's a software that allows you to print out shipping labels. And what's unique about Pirate Ship is that they allow you to save a lot of money with cubic pricing, which is less than half a cubic foot, that is only usually available for very, very large shippers. So Pirate Ship gives you that service for free. They don't charge for their service, and they give you free access to cubic pricing. Cubic pricing, again, is for packages less than half a cubic foot. That's where you save money with Pirate Ship. Otherwise, any other post office rate is about the same as any place else, and the same rules apply.
Got it.
Okay, so again, think about if you have two things to ship, and you put them together, and they're more than a cubic foot, and you're shipping far away. Consider putting them into two smaller packages that are less than a cubic foot. It's a little bit more work for you to analyze the shipping for every product, but you guys are veterans. You do this anyway for the most part. You just have to change the way you think. Robin and I have charts at each one at our desks that shows comparisons between priority and parcel select and express and FedEx and everything else. And after our package is weighed and measured, we'll go to the chart and decide which is the most effective way to ship. So if you don't do that, I recommend it, and you may end up saving yourselves a lot of money in the long run.
Can we get a copy of that chart, or is it made just for your products?
It is made just for us because we have our own rates for FedEx.
Okay.
So you can there's a link that I'll show you later, or Jason can post it, to all the priority mail rates, and you can use that as a basis for your chart. But if you have your own rates already, if you have your own account with FedEx or UPS, then you want to make a chart and put the columns side by side. We have the zones on top and the weights going down the side. This column is priority mail. This column is FedEx. You go right across and see which one's cheapest, and then that's the one that you pick. So for Bubblefast, we do free shipping for everything, and we do Robin standard shipping, I think we say. So this way, we choose the shipping carrier and method because we do free shipping. So if it's more effective for us to ship flat rate padded mailer, we'll do that. If it's more effective for us to do ground, we'll do that. It's our choice because we have free shipping and we decide how we want to ship it. So one more thing on FedEx before we get into the other part of FedEx Jason was talking about. You were asking about the flat rate padded mailer and whether or not that's being effective. And the answer is no. Something relatively new that you may not be aware of is FedEx has a similar product called FedEx One Rate. FedEx One Rate has several different sizes that are flat rate, but there's one in particular that we find is actually useful to us. Originally, FedEx One Rate was designed as a flat rate competitor to the flat rate padded mailer with the post office, but it only competed against retail rates. It did not compete against commercial rates. So last year, they decided they want to boost that product more, and they created a competitive discount for the FedEx One Rate. You go on to FedEx.com to get shipping supplies, and the packaging, just like the post office, is free. The difference here is that you get FedEx One Rate with any contract you have with FedEx, but you specifically have to ask them for a discount on One Rate. And the earlier you get in, the better off you are. We're grandfathered into great rates from a year ago, and then they changed them in January, and it was flat rate across the country. Now they're starting to do regions, so it's cheaper, closer, and a little bit more expensive further away. The longer you wait, the less benefit you're going to have. So these packs that we use, it's called a FedEx pack. They could be a bubble mailer, just like the flat rate padded mailer, or just an online poly mailer, and they're bigger than the flat rate padded mailer from the post office. I think it costs you like $8.35 to ship right now flat rate, which is more than a flat rate padded mailer, but it's bigger, so you can fit more in it.
Love it.
Okay, and as a testament to that, we have got some items that we were shipping FedEx ground, and we discovered that if we divided that up into two FedEx One Rates, it'll get there faster and for less money. So really consider breaking up your packages. I wouldn't take that wall plaque and saw it in half. That's hard to put back together. But if it's a natural, they can fit in more than one packaging. Think of that as a potential option to save you some money in shipping.
Good tip.
Okay.
So, do you have any recommendations to make the shipping rate less painful to buyers on the opposite coast? I think it's going to be over the next probably year. It's going to be educating the buyer that, look, we just don't have, you're screwed. I'm sorry you live far away from me. I'm going to do my damnedest to get it to you for the best price, but the best price that existed a year ago, it just doesn't exist anymore.
Well, here's the issue the way I see it. The vast majority of sellers on eBay ship with the post office. eBay is one of the post office's biggest customers. We're used to it. It's easy. It's convenient. Now it's not going to be worth it. It's going to be too expensive. FedEx, it used to be UPS, now it's FedEx. Those options are available. You need to look at those because that's not changing. Okay, so right now, today, if you compare priority mail for larger packages in far zones, FedEx is cheaper. That's not going to change. What's going to change is FedEx is going to be less expensive for larger packages in closer zones. So you've got to figure out through the shipping calculator or through charts or however you want to run your business, you've got to now look at FedEx costs for the different dimensional weights across the country and then take that into consideration, especially if you're doing free shipping. It's not as bad as you think. It's just a change that you're not used to.
Change.
Right? But we're veterans. We've been doing this a long time. We're used to change because we sell on eBay.
Right.
Right? So, you ready for the next thing, Jason?
Absolutely.
Or you want to do some more questions?
No. Well, what's the next thing?
So, what you were referring to before, this is also a little known fact. And mostly this takes place when you ship FedEx on eBay because you don't have a choice. You have an option of shipping commercial rates to a commercial customer. Or if you're going to a person's home, you use what's called FedEx Home, which is not a division of FedEx Ground. It's actually a separate division. So if you ship something FedEx Home, you have a $3.60 surcharge that you're paying to switch from ground to home. It's the same service, but it's a different division that actually delivers it for you. We do something a little bit more radical.
Uh-oh, radical.
We do. We quote everything out and ship everything out FedEx commercial, right? And if it ends up being a residential delivery, we end up paying a $4.40 surcharge to go from commercial to residential. And now you're all saying, wait, I thought this guy knew his numbers. Why is he paying $4.40 to go residential when he can pay $3.60 to go FedEx Home? And here's the answer. You have a separate negotiated discount for ground than you do FedEx Home. And by far and by large, your discounts for FedEx Ground are way deeper than you're ever going to get for FedEx Home. So even though your surcharges are higher, your discounts are so much deeper that you're going to end up paying a way smaller amount for the package by a lot, especially the more that you ship with FedEx. FedEx has discounts by weight and zone, and they also have additional discounts based on volume. So the more you ship, the deeper your discounts on a going forward basis. And you're not going to get anywhere near the discounts if you ship FedEx Home. To my knowledge, when you ship with FedEx through eBay, if it's a residential delivery, you don't have a choice. It chooses home for you. So this may be another reason for you to contact a FedEx rep to negotiate a contract. It's not the same rules with UPS.
So if you do the FedEx contract and you negotiate for good rates, you're going to have to ship it through FedEx and then plug in the tracking back on eBay, correct?
It can still be done automatically. You don't have to do it manually. Okay. When you do it through eBay, eBay automatically does that for you. But if you use stamps.com or if you use ShipStation, not stamps.com yet. They don't do FedEx, but they may someday. But if you use ShipStation, for example, which does all carriers, ShipStation integrates with eBay. So you can pull your eBay orders into ShipStation and use your FedEx account number to get your FedEx rates and print out your FedEx labels. And ShipStation will automatically post your tracking number back to your eBay order. So the change is minimal.
So 2 questions that just showed up. One is from Rich and Nyla. I don't know if you know them. They're really nice people. They live in Chicago. I don't know if have you ever met them?
Rich and who?
Rich and Nyla, I think is their name.
They make boat signs.
That's a weird name, Rich.
They ask, is eBay FedEx commercial rates?
Okay, when you ship with FedEx through eBay, if you have a commercial delivery address, it'll give you the FedEx ground commercial rates based on their discounts. If it's a residential address, it'll ship FedEx home, again, with their discounts. But you may find, if you ship enough, that your discounts may be deeper. You may negotiate better discounts than eBay. Well, I shouldn't say it that way. I'm not saying that Bubblefast has negotiated better discounts than eBay. I'm saying that the discounts that eBay offer us are not as good as the discounts we can get ourselves.
So Gene's worried, and I'm sure a lot of people are, that the small sellers are just screwed. So if you call FedEx, say, I want an account, but I'm only going to need you like twice a week or once a week, are we going to get any kind of discount? Because you ship a lot more packages than most of us ship in a week.
You will get a discount, especially when you play one against the other, UPS versus FedEx. Obviously, the more you say you're going to ship, the better your discounts. But the small seller is not screwed because you can still use FedEx shipping through eBay no matter what, and that will be less than eBay post office, especially in far zones for larger packages. So you have options no matter what. You just have to get out of the mindset that I've always used the post office and I have to continue, because there will be people out there changing before you do. And if you're shipping the same products and eBay is showing, lowest price plus shipping, you're not going to show. You're going to have to examine your products based on a new carrier, a new service, and a new carrier. And I'm not really trying to scare you too badly, other than you need to get on this now. That's the scare I want to put into you. But in the end, you got to remember, these rules are the same for everybody. So the sooner you get on the changes, the sooner you've got, you're ahead of the game from everybody else. And not everybody knows these changes are coming. They're going to lose money and you're not.
And that's the great thing to remember, is these rules are for everybody. So if someone wants to buy vintage web chairs that my mom sells, everyone's going to have the same rates. You just got to make sure that you're all dialed in and ready to rock and roll, because the customers aren't going to disappear. Someone needs it or wants it, they're still going to need it or want it. They're just going to probably end up paying a little bit more. Yeah, but where this, I think, affects the unfortunate is those that live in remote corners. Like my boy Dennis lives in a remote corner in North Dakota. There ain't no pickups anywhere. So those are going to have a problem.
There's always going to be a way to ship. And so, a lot of people that are doing free shipping now may back off of that. We're not going to. Basically, we figure out what shipping from us is to zone 7. And if we ship zone 7, we break even. If we ship to zone 8, we lose money. But there's not nearly as many zone 8s. And if we ship in the closer zones, we make up a little bit more money to make up for the fact that we're breaking even or losing a little money in 7 or 8. And so if you build that in, and you're smart up front that you build it in, the smart way to ship it, like not combining packages or making the package smaller, the more work you do now, the less hassle you're going to have later, and the less opportunity you're going to have to lose money.
So Linda's got a great question. So say you sign with FedEx, you negotiate a discounted rate with them, and you say, I'm going to ship 10 packages a week, and you end up shipping 2. Do they monitor that and go, screw you, here's a different rate?
Absolutely not.
Oh, yay.
Okay, they want your business. There's going to come a day when somebody like, let's say, Amazon is going to get in the shipping business.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're going to want to take over the world. So as I said, people are resistant to change, and FedEx and UPS know what's going on more than we do. They know what's going on in the background. They want your business. They want it now. And as long as not everybody can do this, but if you play FedEx against UPS, one of them is going to want your business more than the other. And you can promise 10 packages a week. You can promise 1 package a week. The only difference is whether or not you're going to drop off or get, a daily pickup. You can schedule a weekly pickup. So it's really, FedEx will design a discount package to your business in the hopes that they're going to help you grow, and you're going to stick with them through loyalty for helping you grow, and that your business will grow with them as well. FedEx to me is a great partner.
It seems like the buyers are doing what you're doing, prepared, they will wipe out their competition. If the competition doesn't know what's going on and they're not paying attention and you sell the same items, if you're prepared, you could do well.
Absolutely. The early bird, as they say. You got to get in on it now if you haven't already started.
Right. And so people that just sell little things really don't need to be worried about this. And maybe they choose not to thrift and sell big items, so they're not really going to be worried about this.
Yeah. So if you're thrifting and you have your choice of items, that may be a consideration. But as Jason mentioned, everybody is subject to the same rules. Everybody's subject to the same change. So if you're going to decide not to ship larger items anymore, you're just giving the money to your competitor.
Right.
He's going to do it anyway. Everybody is going to be subject to the same rule changes. Now, if you don't get discounts with FedEx as big as you think you can get with eBay, that's the baseline. Everybody at the very least gets eBay discounts. And the more you ship, the better discounts you can get when you negotiate your own contract. Now, if you promise, 500 packages a week and you ship 30 packages a week and you've got a 1 or 2 year contract, that's not going to change, but it may affect the renegotiation of your renewal. So that's what you have to keep in mind.
So don't go insane. If you're doing 10 a week, don't say 500.
Exactly.
You might want to say 20 because hopefully you get there because all the things you learn on Thrifty Business and the Thrifting Board. But, who said it best here? Here's the advantage that you all have who are watching right now. I know this has been a lot of numbers. You're probably have to go back and rewatch, but you're on the front of it where you can start to figure it out. Those that aren't watching Thrifty Business, that don't have a mark in their life, won't be ready for this. So when that change hits in 2 weeks and they're like, oh, I'm not going to lose $30 in shipping, they're going to cancel the sale. We aren't, because we're going to be ready, right?
And
right?
Yes.
And how much does eBay like it when you cancel your sale?
Not too much. But here's the thing, and here's what Mark's saying. Let me break it down even a little more simple. Walk into your local FedEx office, if you got one, and say, look, y'all know about the changes coming up to USPS in shipping. I'm an eBay seller. I'm an Amazon seller. I'm an Etsy seller. I need you to help me grow my business. What can you do so I don't have to use USPS or go to next door to UPS? They'll want your business. That's what Mark's telling you. So you got it, but you can't just walk in and go, what's my deal? Tell them that. Tell them you're an online seller. Tell them you ship 50 packages a week. Tell them you're going to need help to build your business. They want your business.
Now, do you do that in the stores or do you do that on the phone? Is it a different division?
Well, actually, you need to do that on the phone.
Sorry, don't go to the store.
When you go to UPS or FedEx stores, those are independent franchisees that are paying franchise, money to FedEx or UPS. So what you want to do is just want to go 1-800-FedEx or was it one pick UPS, whatever those numbers are, and say, I would like to open up a FedEx account. Can you please hook me up with my regional rep? And they'll ask you a few questions about your volume, and they'll be able to direct you to the right rep. And if they give you the runaround, don't give up. This is your business. Be persistent and make sure you get somebody to walk in and sit down with you and explain to you what it is you need to know to get the best rates. And 1-877-SHIP, SHIP. That's my phone number. You have questions about how to negotiate a UPS or FedEx contract, call me. I'll give you whatever tips I have in my bag to help you out.
Hey, you know what we should do? Speaking of ecom, we should do a little role playing. Like, you'll be the FedEx guy, I'll be the eBay shipper. Like, hi, FedEx sir, how are you? I need help, please.
Well, Rich and Niall are on the line. Let's talk later.
That could be kind of funny, fun, but educational too, because I can see, I understand people are nervous. Some people don't like to get out of their lane. They don't like to change anything, and they don't have that confidence to pick up the phone, call FedEx and go, I need your best rates right now. So maybe a little like 10-minute role play will maybe kind of help, I'd be
happy to comply. That'll be fun.
But hey, speaking of ecom, what's that, Mark?
Let me give you these little tiny more tips, and then we'll go.
Oh, sure. Sorry.
Because it's very short, but I think it's kind of fun. So UPS just signed their contract, and right after they signed their contract, FedEx Home waited, and now they're saying now FedEx Home is going from 5-day-a-week delivery to 6-day-a-week delivery. So home usually is Tuesday through Saturday, and now they're adding Monday back. And they purposely did it until after UPS signed their union contracts, so UPS can't compete with it. But even better than that, and obviously we all know that this is in reaction to Amazon. Either by the end of the year or early next year, FedEx Home is actually going to go to 7-day-a-week delivery. So on one hand, I said, ship commercial and get the residential upcharge. But if you think it's more important that your customer gets 7-day-a-week delivery, that may be an option for you to consider with home. So that's just a little clue about what's going on with FedEx. I'm going to say a bad word or two.
Good.
And that is, and I'm waiting for all the boos, even though I can't see the chat room. You ready? FedEx Smart Post.
Oh.
Any reactions yet?
I thought you were going to say like shit.
FedEx Smart Post is notorious for being one of the worst services on the planet. And the reason FedEx Smart Post means FedEx, you bring your packages to FedEx or they come and pick it up, and FedEx Ground delivers it to the local post office of the recipient, and they go the last mile. And in theory, it's supposed to take maybe 1 or 2 days longer than regular FedEx. It's really a parcel select program. And we use Smart Post right now. And it's better than it was, but it's not where it should be, because things always get hung up at the post office. Because since it's considered parcel select, it's the last thing to go out, no matter when it came in. So things could sit at the local post office for days at the back of the pile before it actually gets delivered to the recipient. So here's the big breaking news. Again, starting either later this year or first quarter next year, FedEx Smart Post is going to be cutting out the post office and delivering Smart Post direct to the consumer. That is big news.
And you heard it first right here on Thrifty Business.
So don't put Smart Post out in the future as a viable alternative to all of these rate changes.
All right, so look, Chris R won the first box resizer. And since we're talking cassettes, I grabbed the closest thing I could find. What Prince album is this? Look at that kick-ass cover, man.
Nice.
Wow. So the first person to put the right answer in, they will also win a box resizer. So if you have a box resizer, don't play, don't participate. Let someone win who doesn't have one.
And if you don't win, order one for yourself. They're not that expensive.
Absolutely. What is this kick-ass album? Boom! Chris, you got to have a box sizer, Chris. There ain't no way you don't have a box resizer, Chris.
He needs another one.
There ain't no way, Chris.
He wants to resell it on eBay.
There ain't no way Chris doesn't have a box resizer.
I actually wore one out. I used it for so many years. I wore it out and had to buy a new one.
Our first one lasted 8 years.
Yeah,
wow.
That's about how old mine was. And we duct tape it, and I finally said, forget it. I'm ordering another one from Bubblefast. And I have another question too. Should I
Sure.
ask it now?
Yeah,
or wait?
go.
Okay. I've never used FedEx or UPS through eBay. You know, I'm a post office person, and I've heard stories that people will print their label, send the package off, and then like a month later, they get this big bill through eBay from FedEx or UPS because I don't know why. Is that true? Is that going to be a bigger issue now because people really aren't going to understand what they're doing?
I am not the person to answer that question, quite honestly, because we don't use FedEx through eBay. It is
Okay.
not a rumor that I'm familiar with. It doesn't make a lot of sense because eBay is giving you their rates. So if anybody should get a bill for an upcharge, it should be eBay. That's the theory. I don't know enough details on people that got upcharged, but how would they even know who you are because you're using eBay's account? Now, on the other side of that, I believe, isn't there an option to use your own FedEx rates through eBay? You can add your account number.
Maybe. That's what I said. I've never used it.
So if that's the case, then I can see where that might happen because they have your contact information. It's your account. And if you're shipping, you know, a 24 by 24 by 24 package, and you're putting the dimensions in as 2 by 2 by 2, then yeah, they're going to catch up to you.
And
cheater.
maybe they're not getting the bill through eBay. Maybe they're getting it some other way, but I've heard it several times. And I almost wonder, maybe they mixed up home and commercial deliveries or something. But I've just shied away from it after hearing all this because I don't want to get hit. I mean, they're getting hit with $20 and $30 bills later.
So it's possible for that to happen, but if you put the correct information in, then you should be billed correctly.
Okay.
And if you get a bill that you feel is incorrect, you can definitely fight it and win very easily because they'd rather give you the refund back and give you the good customer service to make sure you stick around, as long as you're not fighting every single label, you know, that you ship. If it's an isolated incident here or there,
Right.
It costs them less money to get to let you have it than to fight you for it.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, so real quick, Chris Brown just wanted to redeem himself since he messed up Vanilla Ice. So mad props. I understand because I'd want to redeem myself too. He said give it to the next winner, and the next winner was Shelly Blanchard. Came up with Diamonds and Pearls.
All right.
Great Prince
Congratulations,
album.
Kelly. Woo-hoo.
So Shelly and Chris, send me your message me on Facebook later, and I will get you all squared away to win your prize. All right, this has been an insanely long, but the most awesome show with the most awesome content. But we got to talk about where we're going to be role playing, and that's ecomChicago. Woo!
Okay, what is ecomChicago? There you go.
Tell us.
Okay, so Rich and Nyla are online. Robin is here with me as well.
Hi, Robin.
Hi, Robin. So ecomChicago is an e-commerce conference that grew out of the gap that eBay Live left us. And through Rich and Nyla's meetup group, the Chicagoland area eBay seller group in Elk Grove Village, we decided to put together our own e-commerce conference, and this will actually be year number 6. And we talk about truly e-commerce subjects. It is not just eBay. It is not just Amazon. It is eBay and Amazon and Walmart and Jet and Shopify and Etsy, whatever else you can think of. And we bring people in to talk about marketing. We bring people to talk about accounting, insurance, IP infringement, all kinds of things. It turned into a 3-day event because there's so much content and so much fun that we just had to keep adding more and more things. So we have a core of Jason and Chris Green and John Lawson that have been there since the beginning, and we've kept that core intact. And those 3 will be returning again this year to help lead the way for another great e-commerce conference. And we have added a lot of new speakers this year. I see Stephanie and Brianna and Jing. There are a whole bunch of new speakers that have never come to ecom before or haven't come in 5 years. We want to keep it fresh. But let me tell you a little bit about the conference and why it's so unique. The first day, this is October 16, 17, and 18. It's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's $209 for a 3-day catered conference. And if you go to ecomchicago.com right now and register between now and June 30th, you get $40 early bird. So we're talking $169. And let me tell you what you get for that $169. The first day, Wednesday, is called Pre-Show Vendor Day. So we have 8 hours, which we're going to have 8 1-hour time slots for vendors, for sponsors to do a 1-hour presentation about their service or their product, one-on-one with a group. So instead of having 10 minutes to talk about it, you can ask questions and learn about a product for a full hour, which is very unique and very unusual. And it's better for the sponsors because they get your attention and they get your questions. In the room right next door to that, we did something brand new last year called Coach's Corner. This was, Jason, you know it, absolutely amazing.
Can I talk about that real quick?
Sure, go right ahead.
So I signed up to do 4 or 5 hours, and I didn't know what to expect. I thought it'd be okay, and just like things I've done in the past. And then I saw Brianna and Chris signed up for the whole like 8 or 9 hours, and they even forgot to schedule time to like pee and eat. But it was so much more fun from even my end, being the coach, that I expected. It was such a blast that I said, next year I'm doing the full 8. And I told Mark, I said, you guys should have pizza sent in for the coaches who are insane, who do the full straight 8 hours without a break, because it was fun to meet people. It was fun to sit down at that one-on-one time. And that first day is so worth the price alone of the whole 3 days. You can go watch the vendors demonstrate their products, and then you can come in, you can see me, you can go see Chris, you can go see the other coaches. You get 20 minutes, and I go over your store review and help you with your store. It's so much fun from both sides. It really is. We had so much fun last year.
So think about speed dating for e-commerce. You schedule yourself throughout the day. You go from table to table to table to have one-on-one 20-minute free, Jason didn't say that word, free,
sorry,
coaching sessions with the speakers. This year, we're going to build in 2 consecutive 20-minute sessions of free time so we can eat lunch and pee, and we're going to bring in pizzas for everybody as well. So last year was our first year. It was above and beyond our expectations. We learned a few things we're going to do different, and it's going to be even better this year, and that's going to be a big draw. And you have to be a registered attendee in order to participate in Coach's Corner and Pre-Show Vendor Day. Okay, that is also a change for this year. Otherwise, honestly, you can come that day, you can go home and be done, and like Jason said, you got your money's worth. And that night, we're going to have our normal meet and greet informally at the sports bar next door, and everybody gathers around their favorite people, and they network and talk and chit chat. The conference itself is Thursday and Friday. We have continental breakfast. We have catered lunches. We have our infamous karaoke party on Thursday night, where Rich has a beer or two and serenades us all. And it's just so much fun. If you've ever been to a conference in Vegas, you have your conference during the day, and then everybody goes all their separate ways at night doing their own thing. Everything we do at ecomChicago is in the same parking lot. So it's almost like being at boot camp for 3 days, and you're with the same people all the time, if you so choose, and you just meet so many people, have so much fun. And it's, all the speakers and all the sponsors and all the attendees are all in the same room. And because we don't focus on one platform or the other, you get a good flavor of e-commerce in general, and you learn what you need to learn. And that's probably the best thing about coming out of there. You're going to have some call to actions when you get out.
And I'll give you a little preview of what I'm going to be doing this year. So for the first few years I was a speaker, and I'm very appreciative to be asked every year, is we did a live Thrifty business. And last year I wanted to change it up a little bit. And this year, changing it up again. Many moons ago at eBay on location in Philly, we did live shopping with some of the people from the audience. Brought 2 huge racks of clothes, and the goal was to find the best things in the rack and the worst things, and then discuss it and then teach about it. Since I'm so heavily into teaching media right now, we're going to have some live cassette, CD, and record shopping. And again, you're going to have to find the best and the worst. And so Rich and I are going to work it out, try to figure out who to pick for the volunteers, but something different and something totally fun. So, how good are you? It's kind of like supermarket sweep. How fast can you find good stuff?
So go to ecomchicago.com, register today, get your $40 discount. I promise you'll get your money's worth. It is the most it's the best spent money on a conference you'll ever have. There's conferences out there for $500, $600, $800. We're not in it to make money. That's not why we're doing this. We want to see you there. We want you to learn. We're all in this together. We've been doing this for a long time, and we want to share your knowledge, and we want you to share your knowledge with us. So ecomChicago.com. Check out the speakers. Check out the sponsors. There's more coming all the time. It's not finalized. We have several months to go yet. There's also a Facebook group, ecomChicago. Join that group, and that'll be the best way for you to get your updates. Hey, Rich, did I say that all right?
I think so. And I think, Deb, this is our most epic, longest thrifty business ever, but probably the one of all the years I've been doing this with the most content. I mean,
yes.
It's been epic tonight in a good way, because epic could be bad. You'd be like, oh, Jesus, here we go again. And look, I know some of you are like spinning with the numbers, but you have to figure it out. You got to go back and watch this, get pen and paper out, figure it out, because you're going to get screwed on the 23rd. I guarantee it. So the whole point of having Mark on now was so you don't get screwed. So Ma, pay attention. You ship a lot of big stuff.
You have to do a JPEG show a little slower for some of us. I was going to say that, Mark, you were definitely the right person to have on for this topic. And this show will save people so much money and increase your sales, because buyers will buy from you and not your competitors. So it was a very important show.
So if you don't mind, go ahead and post my number, 877-599-SHIP.
Okay. Oh, instead of T.
That's our toll-free number. And or you can email me, Mark, M-A-R-K, at bubblefast.com. Robin and I have been answering questions and helping people ship for 20 years. We're not going to stop now.
And that's why I love Mark and Robin. That's why I have Mark on quite often. And I know Robin's sitting nearby if she wants to pop her head in and say hi, because they've been about the small seller and for the small seller since they started. That was their inception. And, you know, y'all can send me pictures of CDs and tikis all day long, and I'll always answer it. And Mark and Robin are the same way with shipping. We want to see everyone succeed. It isn't a competition amongst us. It is all of us helping together. That's why we do Thrifty Business. That's why I do the Thrifting Board. That's why I do the Secret Beach. Same kind of situation. We all want to see everyone succeed. And part of the succeeding is to understand shipping. It's not the fun part, but the fun part is finding it. The fun part is making the money, but you got to get it to the customer.
Yes. Yeah. And you don't want to lose money shipping, because that really sucks.
And I've said this a zillion times, and I'll say it tonight too. I cheated on Mark one time, and I'll put the blame, I think, on Joy, my admin, because she goes, oh, there's a great sale of bubble wrap on Amazon, and I bought it. And I didn't even realize until that moment that there are different degrees of bubble wrap. So yeah, I spent less, but I had to use twice as much bubble wrap, because this bubble wrap was so crappy, you would just look at it sideways and it would pop. And I said to Mark, I cheated on you, and I will never cheat on you again. No way, because you have good quality bubble wrap. I'm sorry.
The best customer service.
I'm still sorry for cheating on you. You learned the hard way.
You are forgiven.
Thank you. So yes, Brian wants to know if this info is gonna be posted. Yeah, we'll take the stuff that Mark has and the charts and stuff. We'll get it all posted in a post on the Thrifting Board. And do us a huge favor. Give us a big thumbs up. You don't have to give me a thumbs up or Debbie a thumbs up, but give Mark a thumbs up. Yeah. And Robin, the woman behind the man who's sitting right there, because I know she's nearby.
Hi, Robin.
Come on, Robin.
Say hello.
Hi.
Come on. There she comes.
There she is. Hi.
Hi, Robin. Hey. Thank you for letting us have your husband.
Because you guys give us so much great content, I'll even say this. Go Cubs. All right.
Oh. We want to talk about 2016, will we?
And one last fun thing, if you haven't seen my post, you know, I used to be on TV as a thrift hunter, but you're going to see me on TV again someplace else on July 1st. Details to come very soon. I am back on TV a little bit here and there, so I'm excited to share it with you, but details coming very soon. And head over and get signed up for flippingcassettes.com, because that's the next big thing we're doing. And Mark and Robin, I'll see you guys in Chicago soon.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you.
Thank you.
For everyone who tuned in live, had great questions. Those of you who are watching after the fact, we love you just as much. And as I said, there will be a post in the thrifting board. So head over there if you got any questions, if you're not watching live. And if we didn't get to your question tonight, we try to get to as many as we can. We will help you over there for sure. All right. Thank you, everyone. Good night and have a wonderful evening.
Bye-bye. Go Blues.